Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Theresa, my web designer. Web Designs by Theresa for our website Wednesday lesson. How are you, Theresa?
I'm fabulous. How are you doing?
I'm good. I told you I love that color on you, and I
Oh, I
got to go
know.
change my blue sweatshirt to look nicer. I'm a sweatshirt girl when I'm cold in the house. You guys will see me in sweatshirts all the time. Anyway, so today we want to talk about web design tips. You've
Mhm.
got 3 secrets that every DIY designer should know. And I find a lot of interior designers and any new business owner tends to do it DIY in the beginning, like I did also. So,
Absolutely. That's how I got into this business. I was a life coach doing my own website and, low budget, knowing that, reading all the things that say, launch your website in hours. It's so easy and blah, blah, blah. That's another topic for another day about the myths behind that. But, so that's kind of what I got into doing web design because it wasn't easy. It wasn't simple. And I wanted to find a better way. And then I stumbled into a whole new career is what happened. But even if you're not a DIYer, even if you're working with a web designer, you're going to be guiding that design. If you've got a good web designer, they're listening to what you want. And so these tips are really for anybody that is working on getting a new website, improving their current website, whatever.
oops, and she's gone. All right, let's hope she comes back because this is 100% her topic. And last time this happened, I have to tell you, the guest could still hear me. So Theresa might be here in the background somewhere and it just popped her out and hopefully she's going to pop back in. And like I said, here she is. It's the weirdest thing how this system did this. Oh, and she's gone again. All right, so let's go to the notes that I have on. Oh, and I think she's trying to get back in again. You guys can't see what I see, but okay. All right, Theresa, was this something where you could still hear me, but
Yes.
I couldn't see? It's the weirdest
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. 100%. I could hear you. And I was like, I'm here. I'm here.
That's happened to me on phone calls. People are like, hello, hello. I'm like, I'm here, I'm here. It happened last week as well, once to one of my guests. So anyway, let's keep going just in case it happens again.
Yes. So yes, not sure where I cut off, but really these tips are for anybody when you're guiding the design or you're doing it yourself. These are 3 things that you want to keep in mind because a lot of times we get so worked up when it comes to the website design that we overcomplicate it and we do want to put everything into it and we want to make sure everybody knows every possible thing we ever could want to share with them. And so that goes to our first tip, which is just keep it simple. Keep
Okay.
it simple. The goal is to start the conversation, not have the entire conversation.
Oh, I like that. Say that again.
Start the conversation with your dream customers, not have the entire conversation.
And that's what everyone's trying to do. Like, should I put this on my website and that on my website? And exactly the process and the price and the this. I'm like, no,
No,
no, introduce.
no.
I love it. Okay.
Start the conversation. Get to the point. Like you need to share what you do. That's got to be clear. And that's one of the hardest things because we want to be clever. And so we're like, I provide beautiful, incredible experiences online for women who are looking to be strong entrepreneurs. And it's like, okay, what the hell do you do? Get to the point. Like, no, I build websites. That's what I do. Yes, maybe some of that other stuff is true. Like I do try to empower the women that I work with and all of that. And I target women as my key audience, but that's not what I do. So get clear, keep it simple, tell them what you do, how you can make their life better in this couple statements. You don't have to get crazy and get them interested in what you have to do so they continue the conversation and hopefully a discovery call.
Yeah, it's almost like the intro to a book, right? You know how when you go to a library, we were just talking about libraries that I finally went to for after like 20 years. You pick up the book, you read the back. And then sometimes you open the side and you read the side. It's an introduction. Now, do I want to read the rest of the book?
Right. Is this intriguing? Is this what I'm looking for? Is this going to fill what I need?
Yes.
And that's what your website needs to do. So don't have the whole conversation. Keep it simple. Start the conversation. And those who are interested in working with you, those that are your dream customers, when you're talking directly to them to start the conversation, they're the ones that are going to be reaching out to you.
Yes. Okay. I love that tip. All right. Number 2.
Number two, focus on the user experience. And I want to say, I feel like I need to say it 3 times just to really sink this one in, because I think so many times we're so caught up in the technology that we're not thinking about the user experience. And I mean, like my phone is attached to me all the time. I'm a learner. It's one of my top strengths. And I'm always Googling something. I'm always looking something up. I'm always looking for something. And I hop off of websites really fast when the experience sucks. And so you've got to really focus on that user experience and think about, what information do I need to have readily available to my dream customers? What you do and how to continue that conversation. You got to have that information available.
Right.
What impression do you want to create? Think about that as well. When you're trying to share everything, it's too confusing of a message. So what impression do you want to create with the people that are doing it? And so, for example, with me, I want people to feel comfortable and ease. Doing a website can be a very vulnerable moment because you got to dig deep to go into what you want to do. And I want them to feel comfortable and ease, like they're sitting down having a cup of coffee with a trusted friend. That's what I want my clients to fulfill. And that is the message that I try to portray in my website. And I know that it works because it's been mirrored back to me from people multiple times.
Yeah, so you want them to feel what it's like to work with you, even from your website,
Yes.
right? But also, um, what does your client want when they go to your website? Don't think about what you want to, what you know they need. I know they need to know all these things.
No.
Go from their perspective. What do they want to know
Right.
the moment they hit your website? Think about it from your perspective. What do you want to see when you go to people's websites? How do you want it to act and behave? What aggravates you, I'm sure aggravates everybody else too. So,
Yes. If
okay.
you were your own client, what would you want to experience on that website? What would you want to feel? That's what I really want people to think about. Because for me, it's like, I want you to feel like you're having a cup of coffee with a trusted friend. But that may not be right for you. Maybe you want to say, I have a level of professionalism that will be get the job done quicker.
Right.
Or I am going to create a feeling of luxury that is going to carry on into your home. I mean, like really dig deep. What do you want them? If you were your own customer, what would you want to feel?
Right. And I
And
think what's going on in the interior design world right now too is I want to feel healthier and happier in my space too, right? So using words like health and wellness and like even if that's not your focus somewhere in your website, this is what people are trying to achieve now with after what happened with COVID. They're trying to get that peace and calm in their own environment. So
yes,
what do they want to see is
exactly.
yeah.
So getting into the mind of your customer is the key. And then really focus on that user experience. And so not just the feeling that the website comes, but also, is it easy to navigate? Is essential information readily available? Is there a ton of pop-ups, ads, things like that? And personally, when it comes to those paid ads, yes, you can monetize your website. No, I don't think you should do it. So
We've
I
talked about that. Yeah, it's not a good feeling when you go to someone's website and they're trying to sell you all kinds of other people's shit, right? Because you're talking about ads. You can make money on your website by having other people's ads at the bottom or at the top, but that's a little tacky, especially if you're a luxury business.
especially if you're a luxury business. And
Yeah.
if you're wanting to create that sense of home, of comfort, of well-being, even if you're not luxury, if you're wanting to create that sense of health and you've got these pop-up ads, as soon as I start reading an article, this ad takes control of my screen
Oh,
and moves me someplace else, I'm off the website in a heartbeat.
yeah, yeah. It's terrible.
Won't even do it. So again, really focus on the user experience, and I harp on that a lot, but it's, to me, it's one of the best things because people are looking for a relationship. They don't want to be sold to. They want to build a relationship with somebody they trust. And
Yes,
by giving them a good user experience, that's what you're
it
going
matters.
to do. Yeah.
Yeah, it matters. Okay. And number three.
Fresh content, and don't stress out and overthink fresh content. You don't have to have this crazy excessive blog, unless you love blogging. You can do portfolios, you could do case studies, blog posts, obviously, videos, podcasts, any of those kind of things that you can do that are in the moment. You can then portray on your website by, like, podcast, create a media page, or if you have your own podcast, create a podcast page. Videos once a week, do a video that talks about something in the industry. You could do it live and then you can download it and upload it, or and add it to YouTube and you on your website. Share it on your website. I mean, there's a lot of ways. You could do a case study. Give me a mood board and for the season and tell me why you put those pieces together, why you chose that color palette, why you chose these selections. I mean, there's an unlimited amount of information or that you could be sharing that keeps fresh content flowing. And that's the key.
Yeah, the thing is, people think, and we've talked about this so many times, but it's worth repeating. Websites are not supposed to be stagnant. I've done it, and now it sits there for 5-10 years. It's supposed to be a constantly recurring updating, so that Google knows you're still in business and that they are feeding you, right? They're feeding you into, what's it called, into the search engines.
Into the search engine. And here's the thing, if business is slow and you're really stressed about where am I going to get business, sit down and write a blog or a case study. Write that now. Break that down into 3 to 5 chunks and create 3 to 5 small videos. And then take those videos and little snippets and create social media posts out of that. Like, you have the value in that one little article. You can stretch it out through an entire month, creating content and getting out there and sharing your expertise. That's the key. So that fresh content is you getting out there from the pages of your website. And then don't just stop there. Share it all over the place.
Good advice. One, I just taught that lesson yesterday to one of my one-on-ones. Write a 1,500-word blog, break it down, and I never said, and add it to your website, add a video to your website, right? Even if you did that once a month, wouldn't that be amazing?
Once a month.
Yeah.
I used to blog twice a week once upon a time when I first started this business, because I didn't have business, because I didn't have clients. And so I was doing everything I could to get out there. But now once a month, I write one blog post. It becomes the content for all of my marketing for the entire month. And if you don't know, what do I blog about? Well, I have a free blogging 101 course that gives you over 100 different topic ideas. Plus, go to ChatGPT and type in, what are some great blog posts to write about summer decor?
Oh my God, Theresa,
you need an interior designer to help you. Like, have a conversation. Don't just ask a general question. Have a conversation with ChatGPT and say, okay, so can you write, help me with this, and why, and why people should hire an interior designer.
Yeah, and I've been giving ChatGPT lessons to all my profit insiders, because it's a time saver is the bottom line. Do you have to put your personal spin on it? Yes, I teach you that too. But yeah, like Theresa's saying, to have a starting point, and I'll teach either to have a starting point of a blog or have a starting point of a video. Either one matches your third tip, where you're updating your website once a month, at least with something. With something. And I love the idea of a flat lay or a testimonial or a video. Like, as long as you're updating your website, what do you say? Once a month, you're touching it. It's a good thing.
Once a month, you're in there and you're active in your business, active in your website, and that website is going to support you so much longer. When you build it and abandon it, I guarantee within a couple years, it's going to be a piece of garbage.
Yeah, and it really is. I don't even know if it's a couple of years anymore. I almost feel like it's a year these days, where you're constantly having to update.
Yeah, I have seen newer businesses their website become irrelevant within a matter of 6 to 9 months, because we're shifting and changing so much when we're a new business, and we're learning, like, what are we going to do? How are we going to change this? How are we going to present ourselves? We're fine-tuning our customers. We're fine-tuning our services. There's always things to be changing and updating on your website. And now is a great time. If you don't have any clients or you don't have work at the moment, get in there and start doing things. But don't just hide behind your website.
Thank you.
Get in there, freshen up the content, and then get that content out there for the world to see, because they're not going to just find you because you built a website.
Mic drop. On that note, tell them where to find you if they need help with building their website, because if you're really stuck and it's locking you up emotionally, get a professional.
Get a professional, and absolutely, because it is a vulnerable moment. And I think I bring a little bit of a unique perspective to the world, because I was a life coach, and I spend a lot more time. I joke that I'm more of a life coach as a web designer than I was as a life coach.
That's true, probably. I'm sure that's true. And people get so traumatized when they're putting up their websites. They get so fearful. It represents them, and I get it. But at the same time, I always say, get it out there, because if it's not ever out there to be seen, you're not going to be found, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, they can find me at webdesignsbytheresa.com, and I would love to have the conversation to help them get it out there.
Plus, I'm going to add, for the DIYers, you have a ton of free training on your website. So everyone should go do that and get out of the I'm stuck, don't know what to do. Do Theresa's trainings if you're stuck in the DIY mode. And if you're ready to hire somebody, contact Theresa through the link I gave you and get a free consultation, a complimentary consultation about your website. Complimentary. All right. I will see you next month for Website Wednesday. Anybody who has questions about their website and how to design it, or any questions, please put it below, tag Theresa, and that'll help us give us content for the future lives. So we're making sure we're serving you guys as best as we can. So, all right, Theresa, I'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye, everyone.